Okay, this is the walk around and startup of the 1983 Honda CX500 Eurosport. This bike never came to America, and it has a really interesting history on it. It was a one-year production bike by Honda, but the parts are available for reasons you'll understand as I explain. In 1982, Honda created their CX500 Turbo, which was the most sophisticated motorcycle of its time. And the 82 Turbo had a really beefed up and supported frame for the extra horsepower. It had beefed up suspension, front and rear, and unlike the other CX500 bikes produced in 82 or 83, it has dual front disc brakes, which I've added. You can see the stainless steel braided blue clear brake lines. It has dual front disc instead of single, and it has rear disc instead of a drum. And so what you have is a normally aspirated CX500 engine, but it's in the turbo frame, suspension, and braking system, which is just a delight to ride. Plus it has the sport bike look to it instead of, the chop seat cruiser things that Honda sent to America under the pretense that that's what people wanted. But this is a clean, beautiful bike, and it has been in my museum collection for quite some time. We have just unmothballed it. It has a new battery. It has new engine oil and filter. It has new coolant. It has the front brakes have been flushed and refilled with new Honda Pro .4. The rear brakes have been flushed and filled with new Honda Pro .4 brake fluid as well. The rear shaft oil has been drained and replaced with new 80/90 weight oil. It is a turnkey bike, and it's ready to go. It needs nothing at this point. So I'll do a quick walk around. You can see they put on the little nose fairing, which is really stylish, and believe it or not, when you have a tank bag on the tank, that fairing does about 3 times as much work keeping the wind off you than you'd think by just looking at it. We also, when I got the bike, we rebuilt the fork seals and put new oil in, and I got these little neoprene boots that cover the fork leg where it goes into the seals, so it keeps rock chips away, dried bugs or anything that could cause a problem with the seals. And you can see the fork legs on both sides are beautiful. The calipers are gorgeous. Liquid cooled is pretty high tech back in 82 and 83. You'll see the engine cases, how everything is just beautiful. And the reason it's so nice is if we look at the mileage, you can see it's 6,600 miles. And you'll also note, I got some glare reflection here, but you also note that there's no fading on the instruments because it spent most of its life inside. You see the controls on the handlebar are nice. The master cylinder for the front brake. And we'll just go around and look at the bike. The tank has no dents or scrapes, but the owner I bought it from, there's a little hinky thing right up here underneath. It's hard to see it, but it's right underneath the gas cap, and it's slightly bubbled, but it's hard underneath, and so I haven't dinked around with it because when I ride I always have a tank bag anyway and it covers it up. But you can see hardly any sun exposure that this bike has been subjected to, and it's a beautiful color scheme. You see the engine, and if you look at the pictures, you want to read the picture or read my text and look at the pictures, because I never get all the pictures I want, and I never get all the verbiage in the video I want. So if you read the text and the video and look at the pictures, you're going to be seeing everything. You can see the side is beautiful, and the pipes, you look at these pipes down here low, you see there's no rust, there's no corrosion. It has the Honda ProLink suspension, of course it's shaft drive. Now I live in Oregon, and because the bike is over 25 years old, I can apply for it, and did, and obtained a special interest plate. And you buy the plate and pay for it one time, and it's good forever. Never has to be renewed. It's just good forever. If the bike is purchased by somebody who lives in Oregon, this forever plate will go with the bike. If a buyer is outside of Oregon, then I will take it off the bike and put it on one of my other motorcycles in the collection. You also have a really cool cargo container in the back fender area, which you can see here. So it's you probably put like 4 pairs of gloves in there. We'll look at the other side. You can see there's no damage on the bike. Now, if you look at the sun, this is fluorescent orange, and if I cover up the sun, you can see how it gets darker, or in here. So all of the fluorescent orange is perfect. There's no, it's only the sun fading it out like you see there. You look at the fork leg on this side, in the condition of the engine. It has the case guards. Also the carburetors, when we took it out of being in mothball, my mechanic took off the float bowls and just made sure everything was clean on the inside. The bike starts up, runs fine, no leaks or anything. Oh, he also digitally synced the carburetors, and the thing starts right up, you'll see. And when I start it up, sure, and look at the temperature gauge. It's going to be all the way down in the cold section, but it starts up like about half a second before you think you're pushing the button. And then you have the center stand, side stand, and you'll notice the pipe on this side too. It's just perfect, beautiful. And the stainless steel clear blue covered brake lines in the back as well. Still has all of the labels everywhere. This one here has some boot wear. But again, it's just amazing. There's only 6,600 miles on it. So I will start it up. And now you see the temperature gauge right there. When I turn the key on, it doesn't go up. And then when I hit the starter, just listen to this. Between new spark plugs and the carburetor is digitally synced, thing starts like a Honda. So I will show you now. Here is the low beam. There's the high beam. You have the tail light, which is really cool because Honda puts in 2 bulbs. 2 dual filament bulbs, one for the tail light, one for the brake light, but you got 2 of them, so if one burns out, you're still, you know, in safe condition. And then brake lights. I'll show you now the horn, or you can hear the horn. Oh, my wire's unplugged. It works. And the turn signals. There's front left, rear left, right rear, right front. So the horn works. It's we were cleaning it up, and one of the wires got pulled loose, and I guess my mechanic forgot to plug it back in. But here it is. This is the coolest CX500 you're ever going to see because of the fact that it has the triple discs of the 500 turbo, it has the frame of the turbo, and it has the suspension of the turbo. So you really can't overrun the bike with the stock engine because it's just right there. And you see that this is liquid cooled, and you see the temperature gauge even the time we've been running has hardly moved. And the restarts are the same. So be sure again to read all my texts, watch this video a couple times, look at all the pictures, and the three combined should tell you everything that you need to know. Thank you.